Hello again, everyone. This is Nathaniel Gibson bringing to you my MPA 594 Week 4 GPA Thesis Multimedia Discussion Board. So as context for this week, I will be taking a look at two specific agencies, one in the public sector and one in the private sector. For the public, I am taking a look at the Department of Justice, specifically their Committee on Cybersecurity or Homeland Security, and then also the for-profit private corporation 6 Sense, which also specializes in cybersecurity. So using Graham Allison's overarching theme that um, government agencies and private businesses are similar or dissimilar in all important or unimportant respects, I will advocate that the Department of Justice and 6 Sense are in fact dissimilar in all important aspects by using three themes. Number one, bureaucratic structure versus free market business. Second theme, government is acting as a public servant and not as a seller of a good. And thirdly, that government agencies are responsible to uphold certain values and be committed to moral responsibility, in fact, and they do this through ethics and efficiency. So taking a look at our first theme of evaluating why public and private enterprises are different, it's important to understand that they're different because, I mean, they're built different. Their structures are different. Take a look at the Constitution. Many companies don't have a form of or a Bill of Rights or articles that lay out the critical functions of that organization and how they're supposed to make decisions. They simply just don't have it. And if you were to take a look at the Pendleton Act too, government isn't allowed to recruit like private businesses, and this is something that the Department of Justice has struggled with. Weber was one who believed that bureaucratic structure for government was designed with these certain rules and regulations in order to meet the certain needs that the community needed. And for many government agencies, these were complex problems. If you take a look at Riddle and Weber's work, you have issues such as homelessness and poverty in the economy. These are complex issues that private enterprises do not have the resources or the time or maybe even the desire to solve. And that's why it's up to government to have the bureaucratic structure needed to fight these issues and to try to provide better opportunities for their communities. This is something Gulick believed that really government was built for, and he believed that management needed to use POSCorp in order to maintain efficiency and most importantly to provide equitable transactions in providing these community services. So moving on now to the second theme, it's important to note here that government is here to serve and not sell a product. Appleby was advocating for this idea of special people in society who are who have developed a sense of special attitude of public responsibility, and these people are crucial to government work. And Wilson also believed that it was through detailed and systematic execution of public law that government agencies were successful. And this can only come from people in public administration who have a heart and a passion and a desire to give back to the community and to put in the time and the energy to get the technical expertise that is needed in order to do and accomplish these goals. Moe as well believed that the public and private sector was different, not in very unimportant ways, but in ways that, also link them together, because government and private enterprise aren't exclusive in the field of, let's say, economics, for example. They are linked together, and it's not a zero-sum game between the two. One gaining from the other does not mean the other is losing from that relationship. They have to work together in order to be successful. There is, however, Robbins advocated a fundamental difference between state action and private actions. And this isn't exclusively found in economics, it's also found in law. For example, the Fourth and Fifth Amendments of the Constitution talk about and guarantee due process of law and prohibit the government from denying these rights as well. This is something that's not exclusive to government, but also you're not going to see it in private sector either. All right, so tackling the final theme now, we're going to take a look at how government administration is or has a greater onus on balancing ethics and efficiency. And it really is an expectation that government agencies have for regulating their internal functions and day-to-day actions in order to uphold the values and ethics that they are committed to serving. And those can be found within their bureaucratic regulations and the laws that govern their actions. Allison believed that that a greater responsibility is needed by government agencies in order to uphold those ethical standards and the lawful provisions that they created, and that government staff or public administrators vow. We all take an oath when we become staff members in order to promote public service practice. And this is in order to focus especially on providing equitable transactions for the betterment of the communities that we serve. Doble was one who believed that this was the duty-based approach to public service, and this is the idea that officials promise to live up to the obligations of the office that they hold and to frame their judgments by standards that are emitted in their office's responsibilities and regulations. So this is something we commit to, this is something that we're aware of, and this is something that we are specifically created for. And for those of you who, like me, your mom always told you were special, well, Graham Allison and Appleby are calling us special too now, because like I said before, it takes special people in order to work in government and to have the desire to serve. Also, public administrators like Burke and Cooper dove into as well, are expected to serve the individual needs of each citizen. And of course, this is impossible to go to each person in the community and to ask them how they can help to make their community better. But in reality, they are held accountable to and by the people of each of those communities. The implications of unethical behavior in public service are also profound. Without the integrity that exists in the government system, government cannot gain or retain the confidence of the people that they serve either. And this is so important to, like Gulick was talking about in his PostCorp, this public opinion and the positive outlook of that is so important to government being able to do its job effectively. So how can public organizations integrate ethics into their bureaucratic tasks? They have to integrate it into their curriculum, into their mission and their values, and they have to teach it to their employees. It's so important to do this and to instill ethical norms into the critical functions of government agencies. In addition to the classics book, here are some further resources that I use to pull together my themes and theories for this presentation. So that wraps up my discussion and further exploration of general public administration theories and how they help to evaluate and analyze the public and private sector companies which specialize in providing cybersecurity services to the United States. Um, I believe that the government is well equipped to handle cybersecurity issues, but there is also a space for other companies to be able to come in the private sector and also provide this good and service to the community. Looking to the future, it's important to think about, with expanding technology, how is this going to bring about new safety concerns, and is it up to the government or the private sector to step up and answer these?